صوت؟ الو الو الو. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. تست مايك. تست مايك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. تست مايك. تست مايك. الو الو. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. تست مايك. تست مايك. تست مايك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. تست مايك. تست مايك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. تست مايك. تست مايك. تست مايك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. ها كيف الأمور؟ طلع علي من القزازة إذا الأمور تمام.
منزوعة هاي ركبت واحدة من عندي. روح اسمع.
طيب يلا.
شو بالك؟ تشيك 1 2 تشيك 1 2 تشيك 1 2. سامع صوتي هلا صح؟ تمام.
And then you will allow them to get most merciful. Today we will initiate OPEXksa.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. تست مايك. تست مايك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. تست مايك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الو الو الو. الصوت واضح؟ الو 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 الو. تست مايك. تست مايك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اسعد الله مساكم بكل خير. كيف الامور؟ ان شاء الله طيبة، كله تمام. كويس. يا تست مايك. تست مايك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. تست مايك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. تست مايك. تست مايك. الو الو. تست مايك. ايوه
خلاص روح انا لهنا. ممتاز.
هي هي تشيك. في صوت هلا؟ تشيك. في صوت هلا؟ تشيك تشيك.
Check 1 2 check check A A1 A1 A testicle 1 test 1 A check 1 2 check 1 2 testicle. Check. Hey, hey, allo, allo. Hey, hey, test. Check, check. Hey, hey. Hey, hey,
السلام عليكم.
Hey, check 1 2. Hey, check 1 2. Hey, check 1 2. Hey.
تستمايك السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الو. Hey 1. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. بسم الله. وبركاته.
هذا السماعة.
Check 1 2.
لا
Check 1 2. A1. A1. Check 1 2. check.
هناك نفس الفكرة على ما
Sound check. A1.
بس نتصرف يجي هو ده
A1.
ونتصرف في اللي
Check 1 2.
هم بدهم الجلسة هذه.
A1. Sound check.
شو الرئيسي
A1.
مش الرئيسي.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
الأساس الأول.
Check 1 2.
تست مايك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. تست مايك. تست مايك. تست
Check
مايك.
1 2. Check 1 2. بضل عم بحكي أنا. بحكي بعد أو بسكت.
أنا أكمل ولا؟
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Test 1. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check sound. خلص مطحم قلبي وطقطق زلعيني. خلص نشوف.
انا عامل زيك انا عامل زيك check 1 2 check 1 2 check 1 2 check 1 2 حبيبي يا check 1 2 check 1 2 ممتاز كده اتحلت الرحمن الرحيم. عايز اقول لك ايه كده خلاص كرسي هنا كرسي
مين حيقعد هون يترجم انجلش؟ اثنيناتكم عم بتقولوا حتترجموا. خلص اثنيناتكم حتريحوا بعض صح؟
ترجم ماشي يعني هيحول عربي لانجليزي.
من عربي لانجليزي
ماشي
اثنيناتكم حتترجموا.
لو حد نطق هناك انجلش هنخصص لكن احنا الاثنين هيبقى في التريد.
تمام
اوكي
تمام. على الاغلب عم بيقولوا كلهم حيحكوا عربي فانتوا حتحكوا بالانجلش مشان هيك انا اخذ معي يلا. اهم شيء ما حدا يحكي منهم انجلش. ما فيش عندك هذا اللي بدي اياه كمان. بكره اكيد حتصير. بكره
استناني الكرسي ده زي اللي هناك اشيل القماش ده. ليش تشيل؟ رخم.
ما ادري ايش خليه عادي. شيله من قدام اذا بدك ارفعه من قدام بس.
مش شايل.
بس بدي اياك تسمع في السماعة هذه تشوف الصوت واصلك ولا لا.
ما في صوت.
ما عليه ما خلاص طلعوا لايف فما راح نقدر نسوي تيست. شوف هذا ضغطت كذا ون اذا اشتغل الاحمر ون خلاص ماشي.
I do now. Ooh. Oh, Sana's having a party. Hi, Suna. Hi, Mama. Good. Is this her fourth plate ولا ايه؟ Yeah. حبيبي. تمام, we're about to start our
turning around itself.
تحب حضرتك تبدأ؟
اللي انت عايزه. لا لا، اللي انت عايزه انا تحت امرك.
the royal anthem. Peace and blessings. Good evening. Some verses from the Holy Quran encouraging us to work. Your Excellencies, Your Highness, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, based on the Kingdom's ambitious vision 2030 and under the patronage of His Excellency, Minister of the Environment, Water and Agriculture, Engineer Al-Qadri, the General Association for the Desalination of Salt Water is happy to organize the Operational Excellence Conference. I would like to invite you to watch a short video clip on such an occasion.
في عصر تتنامى فيه الفرص وتتسارع فيه الخطى
In a world
نحو تحول شامل
full of
لتحقيق الاستدامة ورفع مستوى
to
الأهداف.
achieve sustainability,
ينطلق مؤتمر التميز
the
التشغيلي
Operational
يفتح
Excellence
آفاقا جديدة
Conference
لمستقبل القطاعات
is
الفنية
launched to
والتنفيذية
open new
بالمملكة.
horizons for certain sectors in the kingdom.
يهدف المؤتمر إلى تحقيق الاستدامة
at
المالية
achieving
وتميز الأداء
the
عبر تسريع
financial
التحول الرقمي
sustainability and
انطلاقا من رؤية المملكة
acceleration of the
2030
digital transformation to realize the
وتمكين
kingdom's
للإبداع
vision
والابتكار
2030
في القطاعات
and
الخدمية
to
الصناعية.
put in place
أوبكس السعودية
creation
هو فرصة
and
للتعرف على
creativity
المنهجيات
and
التميز
innovation.
التشغيلية الحديثة واستعراض التجارب الناجحة من خلال
Through
الالتقاء
this conference
بالرواد
we
المحليين
will
والدوليين
explore
لخلق
all
نماذج
the
عمل
successful
وطنية للجودة
experiments
والتميز
by
التنظيمي
meeting all the
بأسلوب
pioneers and
قائم على المعرفة
entrepreneurs
يضمن التوافق مع أفضل الممارسات العالمية
that will
والملائمة
introduce us to the
للثقافة
best
المحلية.
practices
يتناول
and
المؤتمر أبرز
the
مفاهيم التميز التشغيلي
knowledge.
لضمان
It
مستقبل
also
المنشآت عن طريق دعم الابتكارات الجديدة، تعزيز
includes
الإدارة
supporting
بالكفاءة
the
والتكيف مع
facilities
التغيرات،
through
تنمية
supporting
القدرات المؤسسية
creativity and
والاستفادة
innovation
من النجاحات
and making
السابقة
most
في
use of
تقديم
previous
قيمة
successes
إضافية
in
للعملاء. في أوبكس
adding
السعودية
a value
نقدم
to the
أفضل
customers.
الممارسات المحلية
In Saudi
والدولية
OPEX we
في التميز
will introduce you
التشغيلي
to the
من
best
خلال جلسات
international
متنوعة، حلقات نقاش
practices
وورش تدريبية
through
تتناول
workshops, training
البحث
courses
والابتكار،
and various sessions.
الذكاء الصناعي
AI
والثورة الصناعية الرابعة،
and
القيادة
Industrial
وتنفيذ
Revolution
الاستراتيجية،
4.0,
البعد الاقتصادي
entrepreneurship, the economic
مع استعراض أبرز
dimension
تجارب قطاع الاتصالات
while
ومنشآت
exploring
الطاقة والمنشآت
all the
المنتجة
most
للمياه
important
في التميز
experiments
التشغيلي
in the
لعملياتها.
communication sector and
يهدف
other
المؤتمر
sectors.
إلى وضع معايير
It aims
تؤدي
at
إلى
having
سرعة تنفيذ
standards
العمليات من
that
خلال زيادة الدخل
accelerates the
وتسريع
process
تحديد
through
الوقت المناسب للتسويق مع
increase of
تقليل فترة
income
تجهيز
and
المنتجات،
reducing
وهو ما
the
سيساهم
time
في
for
زيادة إنتاجية
readiness,
المنشأة
which will
ويعزز من أرباحها
increase the
وأدائها
quality,
المالي،
reduce the
مما
cost,
يحقق رضا
and
العملاء
increase
ويرفع
the
تفاعل
revenues, which will
الموظفين
achieve
ويزيد
the customer
استدامة المنشأة.
satisfaction
في أوبكس السعودية
to
ستكون
contribute towards
للشركات
longer
مساحة
sustainability.
جديدة
At OPEX
لتوسيع
Saudi,
شبكتها
there will be
المهنية
more
أو
room for the
مشاركة
Saudi
العلامة
companies
التجارية مع صناع
share
القرار أو
a trademark
اقتناص
with the
فرصة
decision
استثمارية
takers
جديدة.
or make most use of a new investment
هنا
opportunity.
حيث
Here,
نسابق
where
المستقبل
we raise
ونصنع
the
التغيير.
future and make the change. would like to now call His Excellency the Saudi Water Desalination CEO to give his opening remarks. Engineer Abdullah bin Ibrahim Abdul Qasim, peace and blessings. Your Highness, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. Today I would like at the outset to start with something simple, and everyone is wondering before starting the meeting why the OPEX? Why did we think of having it? Why now? Let me tell you the story ever since it started. Today I bet that most of the attendees today have led or constructed a team of high efficiency, and I'm just like you. We have a team in the institution who are successful, but having this team doesn't mean the sustainability of the development. We've always been seeking and searching for successful experiences, which is this is a successful method for sustainable establishments. Now we thought many entities have successful experiences, and we would like our successful team of high efficiency to reflect this success as a culture of the organization, and as we want the success to be is the culture, and to have a culture of excellence and success. We have many entities attending. We would like to share the knowledge and the information. We cannot go further without sharing the knowledge, the information, and the experiences. We are certain that through concerted efforts and cooperation, we will definitely achieve the aspired goals. No time with. I think now is the time. We witness unprecedented advancements in the technology, so we would like to make most use of this to better our services to the people. So OPEX, operational excellence, is a culture. Its outcomes usually lead to faster, easier, better, and less costly. And we should always strike a balance between these outcomes. We work with the partners and the existing experts to have an entity capable of competition, but we are in a country of high ambition, so operational excellence as a concept for the people who are ambitious, we are in the best place and time to practice such values that is based on a belief that we can, and if we believe we can, and if we have a good approach and a commitment and behavior, we will the good behavior is what will we exchange through this forum. Don't want to take too long of your time, as I'm not a specialist. I'm only leading a successful team that would like to share the successful experience with you. But I would like to thank Their Highness, Their Excellencies, and all those that will participate in the workshops and share their experiences during the next 2 days. And thank you. Peace and blessings be upon you. Distinguished guests, now it's time to present with you and before you the program of the conference for the 28th and the 29th of March, to better know about the sessions, discussions, and the official speakers in such an event. Let us see. Would like now to call His Excellency Dr. Munir bin Mahmoud al-Dusuqi, head of King Abdulaziz City for Science and Technology, to give his opening speech. Your Highness, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, peace and blessings, and good evening. His Excellency the Governor asked a question. People asked outside, why did we hold such a conference? And I asked them, why was I invited to this conference? But now the title is Employment of Innovation and Operational Excellence. So I'd like to thank those that worked on the organization of this conference, and thank you for selecting such an important title. Kindly allow me to start with two stories that inspired me personally in innovation among stories that I've witnessed in the kingdom. The first one is the launch of the biggest virtual hospital worldwide, and the first in the region, connecting 130 hospitals in remote areas, and provide more than 30 services and serving more than about 500,000 people. The great thing about this example, in the first day that this hospital was launched, virtual hospital, doctors were able to save a life of a patient the life of a patient who had a stroke, using the most advanced technologies to reach some very remote area. The second story is the kingdom. The kingdom is one of the biggest producer of the desalinated water, from 1/4 to 1/5 of the world production. But what's more important is, and what has corporations from the kingdom that are in the Guinness record, having the highest capacity for production in the world, what's more important, the ability to be able to produce with the least cost and the least energy consumption in the world. And SWIC also is now part of the Guinness record under the title Water Champions, using advanced technologies and systems that increase the efficiency of operation. These two examples clarified the broader concept of innovation on the level that we all seek today. Innovation is different from invention. Innovation is different from invention. We seek the broader concept, providing value, creating value, like what we have in the desalination by reduction of consumption, or what happened in the virtual hospital by reducing the time to reach the most remote area, and addressing a problem by the high consumption of electricity in desalination through innovative solutions or the technology of the 4.0 revolution. To have the operational excellence, we need to rely on two types of innovation: the accumulative one and the radical one. We need to harness both in all the processes of operational excellence and corporations. The accumulative one, it improves the operation by reducing the cost or the time, and this is slow and cumulative, as we see in the image before us. So increasing the number of horses increased the efficiency of the cart, but this is a simple innovation and gradual, and we need it in the institutional operational excellence. But in addition to that, we need a radical innovation that leads to a new reality. As we see in some sectors, we thought outside the box and we created participatory new economies by employing these types of innovation and operational excellence. We have two different types of innovation, and I would like to reiterate, innovation is not only confined to scientific research in the universities and new products. We have innovation, we have new work models, and the delivery platforms. These new models linked a new user to a new consumer and created new platforms like Kareem and Jahez. We also have innovation on the level of products like the smartphones that we all use today, produced by Apple and others, but there are ideas that we use on daily basis we don't know that they are innovations, like the ATMs. This is a new product providing a new service, and this is goes in the heart of innovation. And also innovation in some of the coffee shops. Starbucks, they didn't invent the coffee or nothing but the experience of the beneficiary. All these different types of innovation we aim to employ in all our institutions, and these are some of the stories that we've heard in the desalination and in the health sector. They have employed innovation in their daily uses. But if we were to look at the technology and its role in innovation, we have the technology of the 4.0 that played a major role in the empowerment of operational excellence, whether 3D printing or the wearable technologies, or cloud computing, AI in the kingdom. Many of these technologies were implemented in various sectors. Allow me to provide a few examples. The first example, in the petroleum and natural gas, the Al Uthmaniyah laboratory that is owned by Aramco. In the World Economic Forum was called a lighthouse or a beacon for industry, as they use the AI, the wearables, and the augmented reality to reduce the cost and to increase the responsiveness to emergencies. We also see that used more than a type of innovation on this platform. In the field of agriculture, reducing of the agriculture of feed, using technologies, remote sensing technologies. This saved 9 billion cubic meters of water. We only used it using a new application, and we used more than a type of innovation, and it saved us. Our consumption for the next 3 years. The third example is a home done by Saudi hands using 3D printing. We were able to build industries that build homes. 85% of the home is manufactured in the factory, and it's put together in 2 days. We also used in that in many types of innovation. The last example is launching the first desalination station using solar energy worldwide. It saves 10,000 oil barrels a year, and it was produced in Al Kharj in cooperation with the city and the institution. The 4 examples that I mentioned, in addition to harnessing the various technologies and implementing more than a type of innovation, there was a joint element between the old stories, integration between the governmental entities, the academic entities, and the research entities. Also the integration between the SMEs and the private sector. They all played a role in these stories. Today in the kingdom, we have the sector M4 is under the supervision of a higher committee to support the innovation, and the operational arm is the entity of the development of research and innovation. But what's more important, the success partners and the sector, the innovation sector, it's not an academic sector. It targets the employees and the SMEs, the pioneer companies, the entrepreneur companies, the international companies. We have more than 400 stakeholders in the sector, especially the entrepreneurship companies that are able to respond to the challenges in a rapid manner. So we want the support of the entrepreneurs to change the technologies into solutions in a rapid manner. And I call up all on the stakeholders to work on the strategy of the development of research and innovation. We will hold, starting next week, workshops with all the entities to to help formulation of the strategy, and we will by then we'll have moved from operational excellence to innovational excellence. Thank you. Your Highness, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, now kindly allow us to have the opening session titled Operational Excellence and Sustainable Development, and the speakers Engineer Abdurrahman bin Mohsen Al-Fadli, Minister of Environment, Agriculture and Water, and His Excellency Majid bin Abdullah Al-Hajjal, Minister of Mumra, and moderated by His Excellency Mr. Talat Hafid. Welcome. I would like you to please get on the stage to start the session. Kindly join me in greeting them.
In the name of Allah, peace and blessings be upon our Prophet, Highness, Excellencies, and all of you, distinguished. I welcome in all of you in the opening session in OPEX conference, which is under the operational excellence towards which be participated in by Engineer Abdul Mohsen Al-Fadli, Minister of Environment, Water and Agriculture, and His Excellency Engineer Al-Hajjal, Minister of Rural and Housing, in which we will discuss many of the objects which are relating to the OPEX and how it will be reflected in services for both of the two ministries under the ambition of the vision of the Kingdom 3020, which seeks to be sufficient for the all. For you, Engineer, for Your Excellency, Engineer Fadli, how can we adopt the methodology of the operational to promote works of the ministry, and how it will be cooperated with the main or key individuals? I would like to thank all of you at first. Thank you for organizing this conference, which is seeking for the OPEX and how can be offered the good services for the citizens. At first, I would like to confirm for you that all of us in this life, whatever will be offering or receiving a service, there are some tasks involved on shoulder of any person in this society. Whatever he will be received or deliver the service, if he was offering the service in order to promote his target, whatever, if we are in the private or the public sector, about what we will speak, about what we will discuss. First of all, we are speaking about the safety. We should have a service for sustainability in order to present these services for the all, because this is most important for us. I see that we can expect, if we have expectations for the customers, for the users, we should prepare it before its request. If we have spoken about the excellency, I think that the OPEX is a very positive matter, very positive task in offering the services and to keep it the sufficiency of the customers. If we would like to speak about the excellence, if we would like to speak about the operational excellence, we should say that we are so excellent in order to go from it towards our customers and to achieve our targets and goals, because I think that this type of excellence and searching, offering the service for the customers, no sound. We want to achieve this excellence in the operational at first, and how can we keep on our benchmarks in the field of the improvements. There are some indicators such as sufficiency of the customers. In franc, today we are in this great and glorious country. We have the excellence as a general case in our life, as I can say that we have achieved a lot on the same goal and target, as KPI is available and says a lot positive matters about our performance. His Excellency Engineer Magdal, what about the modern tools which we can use in supporting our OPEX and also achieving our targets? In the name of Allah, thanks, all the praise be Allah, and thanks and peace and blessings be upon our prophets, his family. First of all, I would like to thank His Excellency the Minister for all this. In fact, in spite of his words they were so positive regarding the sustainability, as we have a varied sector in order to provide the service for it. If we have spoken about 60%, which are targeting them directly in all the sectors, so we have a lot to speak about today. So the OPEX and supporting the decision, it's a very important factor in order to improve our work, whatever it will be, direct or indirect. So we have started, of course, and adopted a very good methodology and taking the services which can be targeted by the visitors or the citizens. So we are trying to present these services. Then we have to follow after this our providing our services in order to achieve the OPEX for the all. Thanks God, during the last period, in field of the data, as a provider the knowledge for, or even if this sector is receiving the data and the information from the various sectors. So we have achieved the required criteria in this target and in this field. So we have provided the services, and we are in continuity our services, as we have two platforms, Sakani and Baladi. Through both of them we are achieving and presenting the best services. As I would like to say you, during 2023, that all the people during this year will be able to get the sufficient services in a direct way. During also regarding also the accelerating march, we can provide the services, as we have a center of Baladi for controlling the cities. In order to, you can't make a centralization on this through one center, but you are making many experiences and experiments during this in order to make the legislations and the procedures as well, in order to make these procedures so flexible for the all, and how it will be able and so facilitated to be accelerate into the services for these target peoples. At the same time, you will be able to reach to the visitor and the housing people in order to reflect a good positive impression on both of them. If you'd like to serve about this axis, how can make cooperation between the municipality and the housing. How is the ministry can make a link between both of the two fields? Of course, the housing people, there are some housing in his home, but he's practicing these huge services by using the garden, by using the roads. So he will use many things. So today, our rule in the urban planning, how can we make the life is better, and how can we help the others to promote the entertainment for all of them in the basic matters, or the accessory matters as well. First of all, we have to reach to the housing area, housing place, and how it will be serve the city, because it's a very important part from the city. So we are planning. Maybe today we will try to make our focusing on the housing, because we know it's very important, and how can the people live in, how can deal with it, and how can also be familiar with his region. His Excellency, Engineer Fadl, without the kingdom has written a golden writings, especially in chains of the food providing. How is your participation in providing this field to the kingdom, or to the people of the kingdom? In fact, during the last 2 years, we have faced two crises. The first of all, it was COVID, as you know, but the work is connected and going in easy in spite of this. If I would like to speak about 1917, we have achieved a good target or portion of our targets, and we have achieved all of our targets. This strategy has predicted of some shortage in some goods, and in fact, it wasn't a surprise for us. We have expected this and predicted that. Also, strategy of the food safety, it's connected with another strategies, so we have exerted our efforts to overcome this. It has linked as well with some other strategies, like the risk strategies. I will back to your question. In the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Dr. Munir and Dr. Abdullah, in their presentation, they have spoken about magnification of the benefit of the water. So they have spoken about the quantities of the water, but as from the type of the production, it have become better in the quality, in its quality, and saving the materials which are using into production of this quantity of the water. In addition, with local products, which are taking a very long time, but now we can say that we have achieved a lot, and its production has become so wonderful now. As we have reached to 50 up to 70% of its production. In order to speak about the production of the water and the food, we are gonna on the right way. So we are keeping on the water now, and we are trying to exert our efforts in order to get better and the most quality production. But there are still chains of providing which we are practicing with other countries, and there are many logistic operations. So we have noticed, thanks for Allah, that during the last period, the kingdom is witnessing a very positive work, positive effort. And before this, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, I can say in frank that we didn't get a shortage in any basic product. But I can't remember that we have practiced this, but I am surely saying that we have achieved all of our sufficient production in all the fields. if you are in agree with me, sir, that the food safety is a main partnership with the others. So what about Tasrul? The coordination between both of them, is it a difficult matter or hard matter to do this? Is actually engineer, how can you support the government contracts in the field of the operation? Sure, it's important for us to look at the operating model for any service which is relating to the standards or the maintenance who are working in the same field. So we are making a revision in order to search for the best world practice in order to achieve which has achieved in managing services. At the same time, we can measure the local capabilities in order to get on an operational model go along with our nature of our society. If we have given an example, for a long time, years in the past, we are using the contracts bill of quantities. It has made many of the contracting sectors, they have created a high sufficient methodology in order to sure that who's giving the contract who can determine. So today we can revise how can we offer the contracts in order to save a good space for the all, and how can we put into these contracts the targets and the aims, and we will let for the contracts the chances of innovation in order to provide their services in the way which they want and prefer under the procedures and the criteria which we have adopted for him. For example, the roads today, we are among of the great countries which we have 570 roads which are expanded for long kilometers. So we are benefited by the transportation by unifying majority of the specifications and the criteria in order to lead the Ministry of Transportation to have an economic methodology in order to unify many of the standards, and also Ministry of Industry, how can it improve and make a progressive for its production, and how can reuse the materials, and also will lead the contracting sector in order to participate into this. This is among of our common work, whatever it will be through the contractors or whatever through the governmental entities which are increasing the economic way in order to improve our operational cases. This means that it's so clear for us that there is some kind of ecosystem among of all of these institutes. Among of these, we can get the best world practices. At the same time, we will try to get this also for the local, and also we'll try to enable the local production and also the local contact. It's a very important factor for us. So we are trying to help the small contractors in order to designing their works, their construction, whatever they will be. All the parties are trying to achieve a very high quality in so low cost in order to make for us, if we have closed our ways in front of the peoples, we will sophisticate the matter, but we are trying to facilitate the matters and make it this in accelerated way in order to achieve our targets and service. We go back to you, our governor. What are the gain benefits through the methodology of the operational easiness of our work, is also achieving many of the economic ways? First of all, I think that the OPEX I can call it's the easiest way and also the best quality we can offer for our customers and for our people. Maybe it will take some long time, but surely it's among of the best and easiest ways which you can follow for the others. If we have adopted the excellence, it's among the basic matter in order to follow up these basics. And this is some of answering your question regarding the national company of the water and especially the public sector. If we have said something not right in this, is this unfair to say this in right of this company because it's offering a great services for the people and exerting many of the efforts which are so useful for the housing people. But what we are offering from figures in all over the regions of the kingdom under supervision of the water company, we are giving this service under 14 company, but there are now more than 90 partner is sharing with us. All of these are great and important factors we can speak about. Also, if we have looked at the invoicing systems and now we have adopted, we have progressed as well. As now you cannot say that there is irregular cases, no, but all of these are gonna now in a regular way. As I can say that the national company of the water, if we have said that some percentage of fault, it's acceptable, but it's exerting a great effort in order to achieve everything, in order to go on the right way. We have dealt with many projects, also providing the service for the people, and how also we can provide the service and the methodology of providing the service for the people. We can say that this company is a sustainability service in favor of the people, in favor of the citizens into the kingdoms, because the matter is under the asking and requesting by the people. So we can say that we are dealing with more than 520 housing compound or housing regions, and we are achieving many of the targets and service for these huge number and providing service for them. Today, my dear brother, the International Organization for the Environment, they have issued in cooperation with the same center into the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, depending on the centers which are looking at the climate. When I speak about also the desalination company of the water, if I have making comparison since 1916 and up to now, and increasing the benefit into the production, as we have increased the production from 4 up to 50% of the production as well during this period, as we have reached up to 60% now. I can imagine that all the Saudi people feel that the water in the best on the best way these days, and it's better than what it was before during the last and the previous years. If I would like also to speak about the other products which are being used, the water, we can say that the water is so excellent and they are gonna in the right way. If we have spoken about the fund, the progressive agriculture fund develop, we can say that we are using and working in more than 500 million Saudi Riyal into the agriculture products, as we can say that we are in plus now for more than 30 million Riyal. So all of these are available targets and fields for sustainability and increasing sustainability, which will be, and I can confirm that we are on the right way, and by God willing we are gonna in the best speed and the best acceleration. It's so good, sir, to listen all of this information and to listen about the invoices as well, invoice system as well. And this will depend on the quantity of providing and how can serve the customers, and how it will be regular and every day. Every day we can say that any customer is receiving his invoice on the right way and on the right date. What about the act? What about the act between the customers and the company? Can we speak about this and we can give some notes about that? It's a matter of procedures, but I would like to tell you that we are facilitating the procedures for all of these people, and we are taking some guide points in order to and notice in order to work on it, as we making references for what was before and making comparison and choosing adopting the best method for our customers. His Excellency, Mr. Majd Al-Hadil, how the ministry activated the artificial intelligence AI. We didn't activate yet, but we can say that we are at the beginning and we are on the right way. Why we didn't activate? Because the platform which we have established is based on how can we manage our region, our works, our activities. We are still in the base of in the phase of development. I would like to tell you that we are working now, whatever it will be in form of support from point of view. Today the technologies which we have adopted into the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia are so advanced and so modernized, and as you know, we can say an example for this is the mobiles. In spite of this, we have a very huge number of these mobiles or sets or tools which we are using, and the ministry as well is using the technology. Has its own information center in order to know and to realize everything about the new technologies. We would like to be in advance, in prior, in getting all of these data, and how can we deal with the other technologies which are abroad into the market. So we are adopting this and going to offer the best quality for the services, not only using it but searching for the best quality for these services. I'm asking you, Allah, to guide you for better. Engineer Abdurrahman, another again. What about the digitization services? And as you know that OPEX is depending on digitization, and how can through digitization reach to the excellence? Are you facing some risks? Are there some obstacles which are facing of you? Maybe it's proper to say that we are working in the most difficult sector, which is representing and designing the services for our customers, as we can reach as well to we can reach to many number of the farmers, as you know, and for persons who are cultivating the areas and the lands without need to transferring it to any other field. There are some praising, some acceptance in the agriculture sector, so I can say that we are going right, and this is among of the sectors in which the ministry is playing a very vital and important role. The ministry will grant or will give some awards for the cultivators, for the farmers, for their efforts and their works. in general in this sector, whatever in the environment or in the agriculture, or also providing the water for the housing people, we have depended on the data and the databases in order to reach to all of our customers, as we can now try to help in promoting and ongoing our customers the right way, because we are trying to make some kind distinguish in the ebooks. The same question or branch of it. Your Excellency has composed or formed the High Committee for Innovation. What the aim and target, and how can you speak about this? At the beginning, we have 60% of the economic providing of the sectors, and also we are searching for the conditions of the license, and which wants from us to be more nearer to the market and to know how the people are dealing and how can we contact with the people. We are needing for the pioneers, specialized pioneers, to come and to develop the legislations which are helping us into our operations. Our services which are providing in our city, it wasn't longer as before. It's not restricted only on the shop or in commercial places, but it has spread among many of the people to involve or to include many of the sectors, such as the stores, such as storing places or areas. It has become varied and it has been increased for long time. This will let us so more nearer to the market and how can be benefited from the market, because we believe that our target of our being nearer to the market, we don't have any restrictions, but at the end we will let for the big leaders of the work in order to work and help us in making the legislations and the laws which will help us in improving our products. What are your opinion about what the relation between concept of the OPEX and the targets of the kingdom through the vision 2030, especially I think that the OPEX it's a mean to achieve higher targets and goals. So through the OPEX we will search for higher targets and aims as well in order to be achieved through this, by investing the capitals, by using the money in order in the field of the investment. So we will give the best OPEX in this field.
The available resources for us, I think that we always our aim is to start with a deliverable and come up with a strategy to realize such a goal, some of which need a capital investment, some don't, but most of which we also move into how we will operate. For example, we'll meet with my colleague Abdullah from SWEC, and we will address that soon today. When we take the ratios and say how many cubic meters, I think it will be reduced. We will reach 20% of what we had in 2017. If we look at the cost of the producing cubic meters, so I think we need operational excellence and capital for capital investment. When we speak about capital investment, the challenge I think is in the specifications of this capital investment. What do we want to build? What is the purpose behind it? What is the cost of building it? What is the operational cost? What is the production cost? We need engineering work that is improving day by day, maybe. And this reminds me of another example. When looking at the cost of the unit, whether it be the production of the cost for producing cubic a cubic meter from it went down from 4,500 to 2,700. When looking at other domains, there is the same excellence. This will will save other financial resources that could be used other places, whether it be in or in the same place or the same domain by through a wider geographic coverage. Your Excellency, Mr. Majid Al-Hajil, what is the most prominent instruments that led to the improvement of the operational excellence in the ministry? Perhaps as we are a service ministry providing various services, the operational model is based on the tenant and the investment, the inhabitant, the investor, the visitor, and our partners in the government. As we have many relations with our partners in the government, we thought that the best operational model, that 70% of the municipal sector should be privatized in order to be able to provide better services through the private sector than what we had in the past. We also have about 5% the third sector to manage such work. Internally, we were keen on a great deal on having an administrative structural model to be the voice of the beneficiary and the client, to have a bigger role in the system of the municipal sector to be able to provide excellent services. And based on that, we developed the processes after this organizational structure. The most important is the HR in any sector, as they present the success in any sector. We worked on the OHI, the Organizational Health Index, in order to be able where the gaps are that lead to listening to successful ideas, or the operational model, or the processes that we don't need in order to eliminate it. All these protracted processes in cooperation with partner entities, governmental entities that are partner that deliver the services with us. This is how to achieve the operational excellence. And we also have performance indicators to measure the speed of the performance and the dynamics of the decision, so that it's not delayed, on how the automation can address many issues so that the response is faster on the level of the system. So the privatization of the municipal services, what are they? The private sector, is it ready? The municipal sector is not an easy one to handle. Is the private sector ready to assume such a responsibility? I said it recently when speaking on the roads. We need to know that all we working on the capacities of all. We have the oversight sector. This is a new one. How do you have oversight? We're not talking about health oversight or oversight on shops. Also, the buildings, the instruments. You have the engineer sector. You have other sectors that we should work hand in hand, provide the services to them. Also, the model of privatization should be gradual. You cannot hand them all the risks and have them. So how could you do that gradually of the privatization in order to be able to build their capacities, and you also take part of the risks, and you lead to the betterment of this sector. Also, the cleaning sector today, His Excellency, one of the targets is to have the landfill 95%. Kindly correct. 5%. So how can we guarantee that the collection and the sorting and the recycling, how could we have an integrated system through? For 40 years we've capitalized on one issue, which is collection, because due to our model on the values, we said provide 2,000 workers, 1,000 trucks. How could we, with His Excellency, along with His Excellency and this new system, to privatize this sector? We need to have private companies for recycling, and the landfills will only receive 5%. This is the model. We don't say they are not ready, but we want to work with them hand in hand, so that the excellent companies in the collection, they want them to play a role in sorting and the recycling. Usually our local companies, if you work with them in a real partnership, you often see many success stories, and this is what we saw in the housing sector. Also the municipal sector, I think we will have the same success. This is no, I'm not complimenting here, but what has been done in the housing sector, this is definitely beyond what we could imagine, and we think that the municipal sector will have the same. I have finished my questions, but we would like a concluding statement from each one of you, Your Excellencies. Since we are talking about the private sector, it might be appropriate to speak on the private sector. I think that we in the kingdom, we are not an exception to any other states in the world. The services, the natural development is that it's provided by the state, delivered by the state, and then it's gradually privatized until these services that the private sector can assume 100%, and the government will assume the work that is only competent to the government, and it's excellent at it. And also the private sector can excel at of work that he should be assuming, and this will lead to more job opportunities and will lead to operational excellence. Generally speaking, governments are not good operators. The private sector is better to operate, better situation to operate and to manage and to compete. This competition will help the beneficiaries, the user of the services, and the financial resources of the state will be invested in better domains. In that regard, I think today we have models, excellent models for privatization, whether it be on the food or water, and in the environment, and in the pipeline. And the excellence, the private sector excelled in it, and we were able to reduce the cost for the government. And about today we buy water, and about 35% of the contracts that were signed before 2016, and I am confident that these prices will be less when we left the private sector. And this work that the private sector can assume will be left to them. And about the most important factor is the quality. Please rest assured about the quality. The quality is you can't talk about quality without talking about cost. The quality is those that working on the quality are different from those working on the pricing and so on. Mr. Majid, I would like to thank you for selecting such an interesting topic, and I think today the kingdom has many assets, various assets, and it's always keen about the sustainability in the operational processes. We are proud today of the innovation that we see by our youth, males and females. We are impressed when we sit with many of our teams and the younger generations, and how they can come up with innovative ideas in an effective and an impactful manner. that is breathtaking. We would really like to thank this title, and we hope it would be held every year. And every year we will hear success stories and the operation and all the operational sectors in the kingdom. I don't want to conclude, and I'm not. I'm extremely happy and thrilled of all I hear. I'm proud to be a Saudi before, but now I'm even more proud. The figures that have been recorded, whether it be on the regional level or on the kingdom level, and those who have been reading, I read a report of the National Transformation Program 2021, what happened on the water, level of the water, and the digitization, housing, and many other sectors. We are proud to be Saudis. I can only thank you in the end of this session and for all of the valuable information you provided. I would like to thank the distinguished guests, and I would like also to extend my thanks to SWIC for organizing this organization. We hope that this will be the first edition of many. Thank you so much, and peace and blessings be upon.
For your participating with us. Thanks a lot for your being with us, as we are pleased to invite you to attend the works of the conference during the next 2 days, 28, 29, and it will be raising up the sufficiency and the efficiency of the innovations, as we are asking the Almighty Allah to be guided. And thanks a lot for you. That's all. Bye, dears.